Can it be fixed on defense?
We're going to find a way. We're going to do everything we can to find a way.
Do you ever wish that, the organization would give you another weapon or two, or on either side of the ball?
It's not my job.
Deadlines come and pass before our eyes. No improvement, money saved. A defense that can't tackle for their lives, and they're acting misbehaved. Oh, so don't justify, 'cause results, they don't lie. We're sick of your cheapskate ways, no new day. We supported you night and day, so betrayed. You keep pushing our hearts away. Hey. Welcome to the number one Bengals podcast. I'm your host, Eddie McDuke, and I have a very special guest today. I'm talking about Mr. Urinating Tree. Welcome to the show, Mr. Tree.
Definitely. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. So happy to have you on the show.
Definitely. Glad to be on, brother.
So, first things first. I need to understand, is it a tree that urinates, or is it a tree that you urinate on?
Because it is a tree.
Yeah.
It is a tree that urinates. I'm just going to put it out there right now.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the Bengals are not the tree in this scenario. Because the Steelers tend to do that to us.
I mean, you beat us last time, so I'm just going to put it out there right now.
We beat you last time, and the entire world was shocked. We were shocked, and it took a lot. It took a lot, and it was still down to the wire. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get to the preview in about 10 minutes. But first, Mr. Urinating Tree, I want to know, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I mean, it's a Tuesday. It's a little cold here in the Berg, but otherwise, can't really complain. I mean, well, there's a lot of complaining in Steeler land because of what happened on Sunday, but otherwise, I mean, so far it's been all right. How have you been, Daddy?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good because we just got the news that Joe Burrow is coming back. Mm-hmm. He should be back in a couple of weeks. A lot of people are like, this guy is crazy. What is he doing coming back to this dumpster fire? But I honestly think that just his return is going to help this defense. Don't ask me how. There's something about that man and his confidence and his charisma. People want to go out there on the battlefield and sacrifice themselves for him. It is weird. The Bengals are kind of a cult, yeah.
I mean, you better hope for that sake, because I mean, with that defense you've had over the last couple years, it's been pretty bad. You have 570 yards to the Bears.
I think the Jets got half their season total against us.
I think so. I mean, Justin Fields looked like a pretty competent quarterback against you guys. And he goes out this week and throws for 12 yards minus a 42-yard check down to Breece Hall.
I mean, Justin Fields, he literally said in his post-game conference that I was in my closet. I was crying. I was in prostration, asking God to save me. And I was rethinking my career choices. Maybe I should have gone into accounting, or this was all the things he said in the press conference after the game against the Bengals. And he was like, I've been redeemed. Everything looks great. But that wasn't true. It was just because he was playing the Bengals.
Maybe the Bengals were like that Make-A-Wish team. Maybe they were just like giving him some credit. Maybe they were giving him that wish of like, I want to be an NFL quarterback. And they're like, you know what? Our defense is going to be bad today. Maybe that's what happened with Caleb. Maybe that's why Colston Loveland scored that game-winning touchdown.
I like your style. I really do. I like how you look at things. I like your perspective. So I want to ask you something. Because this show, we love Aaron Rodgers. Because he's one of those guys who's just so fun to watch. You're always in a game with Aaron Rodgers. And I'll be honest, even though you lost that game against us, his arm looks about 95% of what it was. It seems like it's almost all there. But then against on the last game against the Chargers, right? His legs, his legs. He was trying to escape the pocket, and that's when bad stuff happened. So I want to know, as a Steelers fan, you guys have not really had the franchise guy since Roethlisberger left.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you guys? Because we're always scared of you, no matter what. But yeah.
I think the thing is with Aaron Rodgers, this was my fear more or less of him being a Steeler, because the mobility just isn't there anymore. He had the torn Achilles a couple years ago. So it was just a situation where he's not going to be able to escape. You can see a little bit here and there with the improvisation, but that the Chargers game, it was the worst game he's probably played in a long time. He was missing throws left and right. There was a deep ball to DK he overthrew. He's underthrown Calvin Austin for a wide open. These were passes he usually makes, and then he overthrew DK for a pick. Second pick wasn't on him. That was Calvin Austin with a bad deflection, but overall, it was just a bad game. He tried to escape the pocket. It didn't really work, and it's been rough sledding. I think the thing, too, is with the Steelers, they lead the league in 3 and outs. So the offense in general has been struggling. This offense more or less honestly goes through Jaylen Warren. He is our best offensive weapon right now. He is our catalyst. And for whatever reason, they try to do this running back by committee with Gainwell and Caleb Johnson. And it doesn't make sense because Caleb Johnson just runs into his own lineman. Yeah. Gainwell, I get, is maybe like a third down passing back because he was a former wide receiver in college. But I feel like you just need to run the horse that's Jaylen Warren, because he has that burst. He's able to see holes. And he's
a galloping horse. That hurdle was amazing. I got to say, it was that in its own way, it was better than the Saquon Barkley one because he got another 10 yards out of it.
Mm-hmm. And also, it was a clean hurdle too. I don't think that. I think
barely
it was.
Touched him.
I forget the Charger who got it. I think it was like Cam Hart. I think it was. Yeah. He just straight up just hurdled.
Didn't touch him. And then they had to grab his jersey just to get him down. They ripped his jersey. Mm-hmm. But I love the way that guy runs, and I think that when I watched Rodgers, he dropped the ball. That's what resulted in the safety. And I will say, as someone with arthritis in his hands, I completely understand that, I can barely grip a sandwich now, let alone a football.
I've got small hands. I get it.
Yeah, I understand. But that pressure and that safety, then because before that, his passes seemed pretty sharp. After that, he was just a mess. I think it was one of those games you just throw away. I think Rodgers is going to have a big game against the Bengals.
I mean, you honestly have to, especially with the Bengals defense and what they're featuring. I mean, I believe they're the last ranked defense in the NFL. They had given up, I think, almost over 1,000 yards over the last 2 games, maybe more. I think it might be 1,100, I think, right?
The offense has scored 80 points the last 2 games, and we lost both.
And lost both, yes. Yeah. But once again, I'm not leaving it to chance because, once again, Joe Flacco knows how to beat this Steeler team. And once again, we saw it in the previous game. How you beat this defense is simple. Inside slants and out routes. Because if you remember that Bengals game, they were spamming inside slants to Jamar Chase.
Right.
And they were spamming them also to T. Higgins. And it was ugly.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same thing. And you see it the last couple of weeks. And if they can't find a way to stop that, I think it's going to be another shootout.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll take a shootout, honestly, over a just absolute kind of blowout, which is what we're afraid of because, the Jets are not a good team, and that was down to the wire. So, it is. The Steelers caused us a lot of stress. I don't know if you've ever considered what it looks like to be a Bengals fan, but it's not fun. It's not fun because you're in your rebuilding years. Somehow you end up being better than us in our, golden years, the best years of our franchise right now with Joe Burrow, and we're trying to just make the playoffs.
I don't think they're really rebuilding per se. I feel like they're kind of trying to retool and redo things on the fly because they're in like what the Colts were in a couple years ago when you bring in these veteran quarterbacks to try and get you over the hump. Last year was Russell Wilson. Worked out for a little bit, then he fell off. This year, Aaron Rodgers. And you're also looking to see if this will be the piece. Next year, I mean, who knows? You might bring in Joe Flacco and complete the AFC North tour because he just keeps beating us. Or they try for somebody like a Kyler Murray who might be available or another piece that may be available in free agency. But it mostly depends. I know the NFL draft is coming to Pittsburgh, so they may end up trading up and drafting a quarterback in the first round, whether it be someone like a Mendoza or Dante Moore, or maybe, I don't know, even Nussmeier could be somebody. Lenore Sellers has also been looked at as potential like first round pick. So it more or less it's just trying to figure out, okay, we're in kind of the same hamster wheel. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
You've been in this like for like the last 7, 8 years. You've been kind of okay. You're an okay team to good team. You'll have your moments. You'll have your 11-0s, and then things implode. But you can never get over that, that mid hump to get to elite. And you've had a strong defense, but the problem is your team's getting older. They got older in free agency, and they still have flaws. They've never really found a wide receiver too. And the linebacker core just hasn't really been the same since, honestly, Ryan Shazier suffered that career-ending injury. Patrick Queen has been okay, but he hasn't been the game changer we've expected. And not just that, like corner-wise, Darius Slay has 2 forms at this moment, like getting burned and getting hurt. Like he has been hurt pretty much every game that we have played so far, and it's really hurt the cornerback depth too. So it more or less, if the Steelers can't get pressure, they can't generate turnovers and get those splash plays, they're in trouble. Because the reality, in 2 of those games, they had 5 and 6 turnovers, and that's just not sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, as Bengals fans, we are not scared of Jalen Ramsey at all. Like, he has not been able to shut down our receivers, ever.
He's been okay at safety. I'll give him that, since they had to move him up for an injury emergency.
Yeah. But, I mean, I kind of like playing him because we have that kind of history where AJ Green was punching him in the head. AJ Green punched him in the head multiple times, and he didn't get suspended because they were like, I think that was warranted. Yeah, he deserved it.
Oh, was that the AJ Green when he was doing the MMA move, pulling him to the ground? Or was that
and they were like, that's fine. That we can let go. That's the only time they've ever let it go in NFL history. But it was like, that's AJ Green, lovely guy. That's Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, we'll let it slide.
Hey,
so
I mean, sometimes you got to get that beef, man. It's like Richard Sherman versus Michael Crabtree. Sometimes you just got to let that leaf go. Keep to lead Michael Crabtree. That sort of thing, too.
Yeah. And then the Super Bowl. I mean, they were torching him. The Bengals receivers were torching Jalen Ramsey. It was beautiful. So, but the big issue with the Steelers, especially with Joe Burrow and Flacco, didn't have the same issue, but is like they tipped passes, right?
Yep.
That front line is always disrupting us. They know how to play. Yeah, Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt and those guys are always a big problem. Yep. So, okay, now I want to get your prediction for this game. It's a big game because if we win, we're only a game behind you, I believe.
Yep, and the Ravens are knocking on the door, so they would be tied with us if we lose and they win. Yeah, so that's something you got to consider. And the Ravens were 1-5 at one point, and they've been able to rebound their season. Yeah. So,
what is your official prediction, score-wise, and who's your player of the game?
Oh, this is actually going to be a tough one. I think it's actually going to be more of a shootout, if I'm going to be completely honest here. Joe Flacco always has the Steelers' number. I know the defense has gotten a little better, but at the same time, there's still that concern, especially with how he, the high-end talent of the receivers and Flacco throwing to those receivers. They'll put up at least 30 to 35. But the question is, can the offense keep up? Can Aaron Rodgers regain that old form? Can Jaylen Warren be able to figure out, be able to use him? Will DK Metcalf be able to stretch the field? Because he hasn't really been able to do that the last couple games. They've been able to really zone in on him. I think the Steelers will win this one, but it's going to be a shootout again. I think it'll be something like 35 to 32. I think it's just going to be a game where it'll be fun to watch, just like the Thursday night game. But I think it's going to be a situation where neither side is going to be very comfortable either way. I think it's going to be one of those games.
Okay. Well, I will take your prediction. I will say I'm very concerned about the Bengals. I'm very concerned because they've been bad against bad teams. They've given up so many points. And now they get the angry Aaron Rodgers, who is probably still angry from his tackling him in that game. Did you see how angry he was?
Oh, yeah, he was. Aaron Rodgers has always been pretty grumpy this year. He's always yelling at guys.
He's always been grumpy. And now it's like the Steelers season is quickly, they were in first place and now they're on the verge of being, almost out of the playoffs again. And this is kind of his last ride with a contender potentially.
Yep.
So he's going to have something to prove. And the defense, it's not just that they're bad, Mr. Tree. It's not just that they're bad.
They're generationally bad.
They're generationally bad, and they don't care. That's the problem. They were they were laughing after that game. They were just
Talked to you on Monday.
They're mocking the coaches. Yeah. So I don't see how you bounce back from that. I don't see who's gonna. Logan Wilson is gone.
Yep.
Right.
Trey Hendrickson might not play.
He's not going to
still
play.
doubtful.
He's not going to play. All our leaders are gone now, right? Mike Hilton, Jesse Bates, everybody's gone. There's no direction on that team.
The only one's Von Bell, I feel like, but he hasn't been the same, I think, right?
No, he's not. So it's a big mess. It's a big mess in Cincinnati. And I think that this is going to be the game that completely derails the Bengals season. And they're never going to get back on track. And so
you're gonna have to beat him with Flacco's arm. I mean, you're gonna have to outshoot the Steelers. That's the only way you win. I feel like.
Yeah. So my prediction is the final score will be Bengals 35, Steelers 17. That's my prediction.
I mean, if that happens, I feel like in the entirety of Pittsburgh's going to melt down.
Yeah.
Because you'd be losing 4 or 5 in that situation.
Exactly. So in that way, I think the Steelers are going to derail the Bengals season because they are on pace. They are headed for a train wreck. And the Steelers are going to take them off of that rail so they're not going, head to head with another train, and now they're going a different path. They're not going to get in that train wreck. And in that way, they're going to derail their season for good.
Derail for good?
Yeah, the train wreck's going to end. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Oh, I mean, I'm just hoping for a good game either way, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so now that we have a little bit of time, I want to get to the questions. This is a big one by Sid and Cat, a longtime subscriber to the show.
Yes.
Yes. Can you explain that, please, Mr. Tree?
Oh, well, there is a urinating tree, I believe, in Europe. So it's just like there's a water spring underneath it, and it just continually pees. I've seen like I'm not sure if I can find like the video of it. I have it on my computer, but it is just a video of just him peeing. So what happens is it's just the built-in juices. It's like, tree sap. Sometimes that just leaks out and just the water just goes. That is how a tree urinates, I feel like. And defecation, I don't know about defecation. I mean, that'd be a little weird. I mean, would you consider acorns their defecation? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would say that makes a lot of sense because the Steelers, no matter what, it seems like they are just urinating on the Bengals. It doesn't matter if it's a down year, if it's a retooling year. It's just constantly the water is spraying on the Bengals, which we don't enjoy. Now, Mr. Tree, you have obviously a YouTube channel, very successful YouTube channel. And please, go ahead and promote it because we have 6 people watching right now. So that is 6 potential new subscribers for you.
Nothing wrong with that, man. I'm always glad to be on, brother. But I'm available on Urinating Tree on YouTube, Twitter. I just shit post on there. It's Urinating Tree there too, and then urinating_tree on Instagram. I don't really post there all that often, but more or less just general life things I do every now and again. Like we did a charity baseball game over the summer in Portland, Oregon, so I did a lot over there too. I think we're doing Burlington, North Carolina again next year. So I'll probably be doing stuff about that, but mostly it's just general potpourri. But I do a series every week called This Week in Sports Ball. More or less, I've been doing it this is my 9th year doing it, which is crazy to believe, but it's mostly just a general recap of the NFL. I talk a lot about the Bengals, a lot of bad, unfortunately. So I try to keep a pulse on everybody more or less, but I release those on Wednesdays and I release other videos throughout the week too. I know I did Haters Guide to the MLB season debriefing will be coming out in the next week or two. World Series recap came out last week, the greatest series, because did you actually watch the World Series, Daddy-O? It was incredible. Yeah,
I'm sure it was. But honestly, when the Bengals are doing bad, I just don't care about the sports. That's so I have not followed the sports for 45 years.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to thank Mr. Tree for being on the show. And if you want to support him and us getting guests like him on the show, there's a very easy way to do that. You can go to patreon.com/thedgeofsports and you can become a paid member of our show. And when you do that, you will get free access to these lovely songs like the one you just heard at the beginning of this show. And they're completely free. All of the songs are completely free when you become a paid subscriber. That's the only condition, that you pay to subscribe, and then everything is free.
Nice.
Yeah, completely free. And that is really all we have for this show, Mr. Tree. But I do hope that you'll be able to come back on
Absolutely.
in the
man.
future. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Because it was a lot of fun. And we learned a lot about the Steelers. So we'll see what happens. But I feel like this is going to be the deciding game for these teams.
I think so. I mean, this is a game the Steelers need, if I'm going to be completely honest here. But as I said, you can't take every week at a time because look what happened the last couple of weeks. You have, I mean, everything coming up and down. Panthers beat the Packers. You had the Dolphins beat the Bills this past week. So it's any given Sunday. Best way to really describe it.
Exactly. And with that, we will see you so long. Sweetie pies.